a few drinks. True Scottish at heart. There we go. How good's this? You can't tell me that right now doesn't feel a little bit like a scene from Outlander. Like, it's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting. Cool. Wow. Thank you so much for coming and joining them. I know that today means so much to Tess and Graham because you're here with them. And it's nice to think that it was only short 8.5 years ago when these two finally laid eyes on each other. Well, actually, it was Tess who first saw Graham because the new gym had opened at Snap Fitness and you could go in and do your little tours. So Tess was like, oh yeah, it's near work, I could go lunchtime. So she went in to have a look and she thought that the gym looked great. But unfortunately, she didn't get a personal tour with the manager. But she did see from far that, he was tall, handsome, big blue eyes and gigantic biceps. Thankfully, when she would go in at lunchtimes to do, her workouts, he was there, all by his lonesome, no other clients, and for some strange reason, he was very willing to just freely give Tess his time. She'd be there just doing her own thing, and he'd come by and he's like, oh, why don't we go try this? And he's like, oh, have you thought about this? Tess has never been so fit before. One, because of the great advice, and two, because of her competitive nature. So things are going well, and, just all this free advice and free knowledge is being given, that she goes and tells friends about, this big hunk of a guy that's been helping her out. And the friends are a little bit sus at first. They're like, that's interesting. So the personal trainer who makes his money from training people is just giving you free sessions for nothing at all. Interesting. Well, it wasn't long in one of these just casual sort of sessions where they would just treat each other like mates, because clearly when you're as good looking as both of these, you just assume that someone else has taken them. So they were just, hanging out, doing their workouts. And it was one day when Tess is doing her lunges and Graham's there doing what every good PT does, making sure her form is correct. Down, up, down, up, making sure to check the glute to make sure it's in alignment, down, up. That's good, Tess. As she's doing these lunges, he tells her, Tess, I've been making this sandwich across the road. It really is, it's quite one of a kind. I wondered if you maybe want to go and grab a bite to eat. Tess was sort of like, oh, wow, maybe he's making a bit of a pass here. But then someone else from the gym third wheeled and she thought, oh, no worries, bit of a letdown, just like his sandwich. But then, of course, look, Graham will tell you that he was just being friendly. There was nothing in it, they just realised they got on well. And in fact, he thought they got on so well during the sandwich that she didn't quite like that he thought maybe she would like to go to dinner. So he invited her to dinner, and it really had nothing to do with her perfect squat form that she'd done over the last 3 months. It definitely had nothing to do with the fact his visa was expiring. He didn't even plan to stay in Australia. So, this was just a casual dinner, and they went and they had some Indian food, and, it was all right. Then a few weeks later, they found themselves in the city, caught up for a drink, went to Club Retro, and that's where they went at it like two teenagers at a prom. Just made out, had a great old time. And of course, after that, sort of every couple of weeks or months, just keep replaying Retro. Not really sure if he was going to stay. So they had some more serious discussions, and they gave it about 12 months, and still, it was just easy. It was just comfortable being together. So after 12 months, they threw an absurd amount of money at a lawyer so that he could begin the possibility of being able to stay in Australia longer. Well, since being together, I'm sure you all know, as they know, that these two, they're just easy. They're relaxed. They're comfortable whether they're together or apart. They don't even need to hold hands on their wedding day because they're not big PDA sort of people. In fact, I know that there's a friend somewhere who in 8 years has never seen them kiss, and that's why they're here today. Together they enjoy walking Kevin, love watching Collingwood and Melbourne Storm. If they're not exercising or watching their favourite TV shows, well, you'll find them at a winery, just enjoying a bottle of red. But every couple has their differences, of course. With their movies, Graham's more of the war movies, the death, the destruction, the freedom sort of movies. Tess is more of her 80s, she's more of a 90s, just romance, bit of fun. Now Graham, he's a napper. He could nap twice a day, every day. But he's not sure why he's not allowed to nap on the best place in the house, on the couch. But Tess, she can't understand why he doesn't like keeping a nice, tidy house. And he blames his mum. Ironically, he also blames Tess's mum for the size of the ring that she has. Truth is, he went over to ask for their blessing, and of course, they gave it freely. Look at him. But then, Mary's like, hey, look, I'll go with you. I'll help you find that ring. And it was like that would be one of his huge weight off the shoulders. What he didn't realise is how she would choose the ring was to look in the cabinet, pick the one with the most diamonds and say, she'll like that one. Which she did. But Mary also helped. She went to help set things up. She set the house up and put pot puree around, and she put some candles, and then of course Graham spent 6 hours putting fairy lights all in their backyard. And then they went to have some dinner at Tess's parents' place, and then they noseyed on home. And that's when Tess opened the door. And what she saw inside the house was like a scene from one of those 90s romance films. At first it was the smell that hit her. Then it was the candles. And then it was the fairy lights. She turned in surprise to see her incredible Hulk of a Graham down on one knee, who had got there through a perfect lunge, of course, ring in hand, asking her to marry him. And then they celebrated with a bottle of champagne. Graham asked Tess to marry him because he loves that life with her is just simply easy being together. There's no drama, there's no fuss. And Tess loves that they share the same values for animals, the desire to have a bit of land in the future, and most of all, at the end of the day, when they come together, at heart, they're just mates. Today is much more than making sure that Kevin has some honest parents. It's about celebrating the life that they've built, and it's about celebrating the life that they're committing to building together. And they couldn't imagine doing today and celebrating today except with everyone here who's able to be with them. Of course, there are some family members who would love to have been able to join, but I think with COVID, the one thing it's taught us is just how important it is to have friends and family here with us physically, in person. I can guarantee that today will go by in a beautiful blur. So I'll get you just to take a bit of a pause, and I'll just take a look at everyone who's here. Everyone's looking great. Some people stopped work early. Some didn't bother to go at all. But everyone's looking fantastic. Some went to the gym to get their pump on. Some have been doing their hair since they woke up. Some have finally got out of their COVID trackies for the first time. But they're all here supporting both of you in this incredible decision. What I love about today is today's the day you say yes publicly in front of everyone. And what I want to encourage you in is, because you'll be saying yes every day, that no matter what season you find yourself in, no matter what temperament, no matter how lovey-dovey you feel or how frustrated you feel that he's still napping on that damn couch when you said not to, as you continue to say yes to each other, that you would remember just a bit of what today feels like. How incredible it was to have everyone here with you. And just how good Graham looks in a kilt. All right. Well, I'm duly authorised by law to solemnise marriages according to law. And before you are joined in marriage in my presence and the presence of these witnesses... Oh, wow. Turn the heat up, all right? I forgot where I was talking. Everything's just getting all blurry up here. Before you are joined in marriage in my presence and the presence of these witnesses, I am to remind you of the solemn and binding nature of the relationship into which you are now about to enter. Marriage, according to law in Australia, is the union of two people to the exclusion of all others voluntarily entered into for life. Graham, do you give yourself to Tess to be her husband? Oh, that's one. Do you choose to love her, comfort her, honour and protect her, and to always be your true self for her as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Tess, do you give yourself to Graham to be his wife? Do you choose to love him, comfort him, honour and protect him, to always be your true self for him, and to rub those big muscles with oil whenever he asks?
I do.
Told you I'd get it in there. All right, well, Graham is going to go first with his vows. As he does, let's put our hands together for him.
I can speak into it. I'll swallow it. Oh, it's harder when you're actually... I'm going to keep this nice, short and sweet. Tess, I'm going to take your hand. My hands are very clammy, but it's a hot day. It's unbelievable, Tess, how much happiness you bring me. Life is very simple, but for me, simple means the world. I love the fact that we can just go for a walk. I know you get annoyed every morning, me asking you to go for a walk with the dog. But it's so much fun just to go together and spend that 40 minutes in the morning just to start a morning together. Try me. Yeah.
Just talk.
Oh, dog. I feel like it's a bit, yeah. Perfect. No, I can hold it. I feel better. Very good. I'm going to keep this very short and sweet because, you know, I'm not someone who talks a lot about my feelings and emotions. But look, the last, 9 years, it's just been so much fun. And like I say, I want us to continue to be a nice, simple, laid back, where we never fight, we never argue, apart from the little small things. Life is always nice and simple for the last 10 years, and let's hope it continues going forward. Just say thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Just careful, Bob.
He's so cute.
Who?
Or both him and Kevin, but, you know, it's talking about him. All right. Did you want to hold that?
I've written something. So, as everybody knows, you and I are not ones for words. So, though the words I'm about to say may not mean a whole lot to everyone here, they should mean something to us.
Do you want me to hold this?
I got it. Oh, I've been good all day. Oh, crap. After nearly 9 years together, I have certainly come to know all the wonderful things about you. I have also come to know about all the not so wonderful things about you. Your very questionable relationship with our fur baby begs the question that if you ever had to choose between me and him, that you would choose him. Personally, I don't want to know the answer to that one. You insist on playing rugby each season, despite the fact that you keep saying to me that you are retiring year after year, and not to mention the complaining of how sore you are, and I am subject to listening to that for days after. Again, you can never choose a movie with me, and it can take hours for us to sometimes pick one. And it is all just so that you can nap, and I am stuck watching an average movie that I would not have chosen while I have to listen to you snoring.
This feels like a bad day.
This is because we're not affectionate. You are so unbelievably proud of your grass and cutting it fortnightly and call that gardening. And though it sounds cute, I'm often stuck with the rest of it. But Graham, I don't love you despite these things. I love you because of these things, because these are some of the things that make you you, and I choose all of you. I'm nearly there. One of the most treasured things, don't you dare. One of the most treasured things that we do is watch TV together. And because it is often so hard for us to agree on anything to watch, I will continue to treasure it. So Graham, you are the Phil Dunphy to my Claire Dunphy. The Jim Halpert. The Jim Halpert to my Pam Beasley. The Jamie Fraser to my Claire Fraser. And the Cal Knight to my Kath Day Knight. Ya ding dong. My love for you is growing wide and long. Ya ding dong. When I see you, I feel like ding ding dong.
Let's put our hands together for them. Well done.
Sounds funny to us. It might sound crazy.
Just don't want to step on you, Kev.
Nice.
Oh, he's all right. Well, this is the point of the ceremony with rings where you're probably expecting me to say something about rings being this perfect circle with no beginning and no end, but the truth is rings have to start from somewhere. And it starts when rock is dug up from earth and that metal is liquefied in a furnace at 1,000 degrees. It's moulded, it's cooled, and it's painstakingly polished. Something beautiful is made from those raw elements. And love is like that. At times it's hot and dirty work, yet it comes from humble beginnings made by imperfect beings. It's the process of making something beautiful where there was once nothing at all. All right. The rings, please. Take your hand and just repeat after me.
Oh, is it? What one is it?
Yeah.
What finger is it?
That one.
This one.
I ask everyone here to witness
I ask everyone here to witness
that I, Graham Crawford,
that I, Graham Crawford,
take you, Tess Barclay,
take you, Tess Barclay,
to be my wedded wife.
to be my wedded wife.
Who knew we could get more diamonds on her, eh? I ask everyone here to witness
I ask everyone here to witness
that I, Tess Barclay,
that I, Tess Barclay,
take you, Graham Crawford,
take you, Graham Crawford,
to be my wedded husband.
to be my wedded husband.
This is the problem with being so muscular. Fantastic. Well, you've shared vows. You've given each other a ring and symbol of this incredible commitment. Everyone, and I mean everyone, is now getting ready to watch this incredible kiss. The kiss that some have never seen before. It could get hot, could get heavy. I'm not going to be here, so I'm going to go here. It's going to be awkward from too close. But please put your hands together, everyone, as I pronounce them husband and wife. Fantastic. We are very quickly going to sign those documents. Please feel free to enjoy the music. Talk amongst yourselves. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Oh, thanks for that. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, nice. Who would like to go first?
Then I can follow you. I'll probably get it wrong. Well, I didn't lose the rings. That's the that's the bit I was most nervous about. I liked your Scottish accent. It was pretty good. Pretty decent. Terrible practice. Oh, I'm sorry. I know, I feel like I just got married. Is that us? You are a big man. You're big. Softy.
Us? Crawford, let's get you down the aisle. First time, the newest married couple in Australia, Mr. and Mrs. Crawford!
Thank you.
Let's get ready with that lavender!
This will be.
Let's put our hands together one more time for the newly married couple.